what is currently lacking in a lot of startups, because हर कोई AI डाल के like they are creating, you know, the hype of their startup. और मैं देखता हूँ कि majority of LinkedIn पे people I'm working in AI, no matter how much AI is used in the startup, someone wants to mention AI in their LinkedIn status, or people are using the hype. So can you share what are the problems currently in the startup ecosystem and in startups which are using this hype?
Absolutely. So I'll tell you, like, first thing first, AI तो like अभी ऐसा हो गया कि हर product में AI चिपका देते हैं. The other day I was looking at this meme that came on Instagram. It was like Costco में Oral-B toothbrushes बिक रहे हैं. It says powered by AI. तो हालत ये चल रहा है. To be honest, if you were to ask me this 10 years from now, AI is going to become a tool like internet, right? हर आदमी इंटरनेट यूज कर ही रहा है. अभी से if you were looking at like 20 years ago or like 25 years ago, काफ़ी कम लोग इंटरनेट पे काम कर रहे थे. इन द सेंस लाइक काफ़ी कम लोगों के पास इंटरनेट का एक्सेस था, या काफ़ी कम लोग इंजीनियर्स थे जो इंटरनेट के प्रोटोकॉल में काम कर रहे थे, या फ्रंट एंड बैक एंड पे काम कर रहे थे. जो अभी सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग बहुत रिडंडेंट हो चुका है. लाइक बहुत सारे सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर्स हैं एंड काफ़ी वेल एस्टैब्लिश्ड करियर स्पेस बन चुका है वो. यही मेरे को ट्रैक लग रहा है द वे इट्स गोना चेंज विद AI. AI is a toolkit. That's all it is. It's not nothing like a magic box, or it's going to revolutionize the world, or it's going to like completely change the way humanity exists. I don't see it that way, at least in the near future. The way I see it, it's becoming a tool that's being embedded in every different businesses for different level of optimizations. मैकेनिकल जो लोग मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर्स थे वो भी इवेंचुअली AI के बारे में जानने लगेंगे, क्योंकि उनको अपने ऑटोमेशन के लिए AI की ज़रूरत पड़ेगी. केमिस्ट्री के जो लोग हैं जो केमिकल इंजीनियरिंग में हैं, उनको भी AI जानने का ज़रूरत पड़ेगा एट सम पॉइंट इन टाइम, बिकॉज उनका इंडस्ट्री भी वो चीज़ यूज़ करने लग जाएगा. क्रिएटिव लाइक आर्टिस्ट्स एंड क्रिएटिव प्रोफेशनल्स, उनके फील्ड में भी AI इज गेटिंग इंटीग्रेटेड. दे आर यूजिंग लाइक ऑल काइंड्स ऑफ टूल्स टू हेल्प देम बी मोर प्रोडक्टिव. That's how it is going to like embed in different industries. And हर कोई अपने आप को अभी ना AI एक्सपर्ट बुलाने लग गया. लाइक कोई भी अगर रिमोटली भी कुछ भी AI पे काम किया, या ChatGPT भी भाई 1 महीने के लिए यूज कर लिया, दे आर लाइक आई एम एन AI एक्सपर्ट, आई यूज AI. That's the kind of hype that people are going behind without realizing that there is power in the tools that is being built with AI. But we are also nearing to a point where it will be a very regulated field on how and when to use AI. We have obviously seen tons of companies getting sued left and right. Ki you have used this data, you have used data which is like copyrighted by a different company, you have used some person's information without their consent, and so on and so forth, right? So that is one of the major risks. Just because a technology can do something does not mean it should be used to do that. Absolutely. So simple. न्यूक्लियर टेक्नोलॉजी है का मतलब ये नहीं है तुम हर किसी को न्यूक्लियर टेक्नोलॉजी का पावर दे दो, राइट? That's a simple example. Same thing. AI is not like that detrimental at this point in time, but it is the same thing that just because something can be done does not mean that you do it at a large scale. So that's where I'm saying that regulation is going to become a very, very big thing. And startups there are two kinds of things that I have seen with startups. A lot of startups are going behind cool gadgets or like cool tech without understanding that what is a market for it. So startups are not able to understand what's the business value proposition of it. Is it going to be a subscription based model, single time use model? Are you going to expose APIs? Are you going to sell products? How exactly are you going to build this sustainable business model out of it, right? That is something which is becoming very hard for startups to understand. The other thing that I'm seeing is wrappers, which in my opinion is a very, very bad way to build a sustainable business. I did see somebody put a video ki I started a startup which was a YouTube video summarizer, something like that. कि उन लोगों ने GPT के APIs यूज करे, and if you have a video on YouTube, just copy paste the link and it will summarize the video, and you can like ask questions and do things like these. This startup probably sustained for a year, less than a year. YouTube did an update on their application. They said, now we have an integrated YouTube summarizer.
Yeah.
Startup is dead. सेम थिंग GPT असिस्टेंस जब आया ड्यूरिंग द ओपन AI dev day, lot of startups were killed because everything that each and every of these startups were doing individually is something that OpenAI integrated in their application. So all of their startups are dead. So my simple logic is, what is your value proposition? If you're using somebody else's model, you're using the data that's available on the internet, you don't own any data, you don't own any models, what exactly is your moat? If you don't have that, then it's very hard for you to sustain that business. You need to have that like USP, like that unique selling proposition for yourself, which nobody else has. Either it is the data that you have collected. I'll give you an example. Like one example is with Adobe, right? Adobe ka, I was looking at their Firefly and Adobe Express and everything that they've built. One of the strongest things that they have on their side is that they have ownership of the data. So all the creative professionals using Adobe tools have signed an agreement with them that we are giving you the permission to use our data. We have the copyright of the data, but we are giving you the permission to use it. And what Adobe is doing is वो images को use करके whatever tools that they are building and जो भी AI generated images उस image को use करके generate हुए हैं, they are giving the right royalty back to the artists. So they have been able to structure this framework very well around copyrights, issues, privacies, regulations so well that it's very hard to break them as a company or as a product. And that's my biggest recommendation, that think about how can your startup fail and try to cover all the gaps. Try to understand what is your unique selling proposition. So yeah, those are like the two things that I feel startups are lacking.